Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be talking about how you can go viral, get a shit ton of views, make a lot of money. But it all starts with a couple of key fundamentals that a lot of people forget about, that they do already probably know, but they forget about how important it is, or you don't have a fucking clue. So it's important that you watch this video right until the end to make sure that you seek in all of the information that I'm about to provide. Excuse the eye bags, I'm going to do this completely live. It's currently 5:30 in the morning. And yeah, as I said, we like to keep everything raw. I don't want to do no edits. I want to keep it as simple as possible and as well explained. So, the first thing that we have to go through when it comes to creating a good piece of content is a couple of different fundamentals. So from the start, it needs to have a couple of different things. Number one is a strong hook. What I mean by that, right, is attention span of the viewership nowadays is very, very small, right? And we have milliseconds before the person decides whether they want to stay or scroll. So in this scenario, we need to make sure that our hook is so strong, captivating, and presented in a perfect way that the person just goes, "Oh, hold on," and catches their attention. Because if you miss out on that, and also the algorithm, whether we're speaking about Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, they all favor one thing, and that's viewer time. So if the person stays and and your video has an average retention of like 60 to 70% plus, like that is going to go fucking viral. It doesn't matter about how many likes it gets, how many saves it gets, if the platform and the social media handle does it thinks that people are staying on the platform for longer because of your video. That's their main goal. All right. If you have a video that pushes people off the platform and it shows that there's a strong exit rate on your video, that instantly will be like, right, let's not pump this video for this guy. So the main thing that you want to prioritize is how can you get the viewer to stay as long as possible. That should be your number one only priority. That's why you see things like drama getting so much views, or it's as terrible as it is, like when a plane is about to crash or something like that, right? It's like it always just wait, hold on. The viewer waits until the end of the video, which is whatever happens at the end of the video, whether it's like the end of the drama session, it's the plane crash, whatever it may be, or if it's like biggest epic fails, it's like somebody drive or going down a ramp on a scooter, but like everybody knows he's gonna crash and fucking hit his face off the ground. Everybody waits until he hits his face, and when he hits his face, they scroll. But that's the end of the video, all right? And this is why everything like this goes viral. Now, how can you translate something so engaging and something so funny to watch into fitness or into any content piece? We're just going to take fitness for today. It is challenging, and that's why the industry is saturated with such idiots, right? But there's only a very few people that know how to crack the code, and may I just add, make the same content as me and the other leading people in the industry, but not go viral. All right, it's because of a couple of different things. So let me kind of bring you through. I think the best thing that I can do is screen share to some of the people leading in the industry, review their videos, tell you why the video done well, and then explain how you can incorporate it into yours. So let's take one of the main men, Sean Casey. If you don't know who he is, you should definitely be following him for as much inspiration as possible. Now, Sean Casey, he has this type of bland vibe to him. He doesn't have a lot of tonality, which is, I would say, arguably is one of the most important things, is tonality and how you come across. But this makes him truly relatable, okay? And it's something that he has done very, very well. May I add, like multiple seven-figure launches through his company. So it's going to be very, very important to watch out how he makes content, because he's been able to grow a viewership that's very consistent. So first of all, this is the exact start of the video here. I may just have like a millisecond after the start here, but instantly I just wanted to pause it initially off the bat. So there's nothing here that's delayed. All right, as soon as the video presses start, he's straight to the he's straight in the ball to give some inspiration, or information, I should say. So there's a dairy milk bar here, right? Which, okay, fair enough. There's a fitness coach, has a dairy milk on a fucking chopping board. But then he starts instantly pouring sugar out while saying, here's how much sugar is in this one tiny chocolate bar. So it's starting the video off very like, what's this guy about to say? Is he going to hate on the chocolate bar? Is he going to tell you how important it is to eat the chocolate bar? Is he going to eat the chocolate bar? Like, what exactly is going on, right? But the main thing here is the wording and how he says it is very like, confident and almost like curious that he's about to say something else. And this is where I say tonality is so important, because if you were to like say this screaming, say this laughing, it wouldn't have as much of effect as how Sean said it. And I'll show you how Sean said it.
Sugar is in this one tiny chocolate bar.
He said it almost in a case of disappointment. He was like, this is how much sugar is in this one tiny chocolate bar. All right. So instantly the person's going to be like, all right, well, this is going to bet the hate on it. So let's go to the next, right? So he pours out a lot of sugar, which obviously he's weighed out. And when you look at the sugar representation of course, the chocolate bar, you're like, what? There's that much sugar in a chocolate bar? I got to hear this guy out.
Now, seeing this in front of your face might be making you really rethink your decision to eat chocolate bars like this because of the amount of sugar they contain. But let me show you another example.
Right, so he gave a quick fact, a relatability effect to the viewer. So he's like, right, you're probably rethinking why the fuck you would be even eating these chocolate bars. And I mean, that went through my head. I'm not sure about you guys, but it's like, what? That much sugar in a chocolate bar? Holy shit, why am I eating that?
Let's move this over here. Feel like I'm back at uni.
And I love how Sean kind of adds in a bit of personality in here. He does it very subtly. Some people wouldn't get it, but it's definitely it's definitely like Irish UK niche. And it's very relatable. So basically, he's relating to his previous drug things in uni, which is it's just funny. It shows personality, and that's what makes him stand out.
Perfect. This is 2 apples, and I think we'll all agree that the apples are going to be a much more nutrient-dense choice than the chocolate bar. This is the amount of sugar in 2 apples. It's worth noting as well that the 2 apples combined have less calories than the chocolate bar, but still more sugar. So the apple is actually a more sugar-dense food than the chocolate bar.
So really quickly here, this is where a lot of other people's videos would end, right? It's just showing the representation, given no information based, and just kind of saying, if you want more fucking tips like that, follow for more. It's always so important to note how much information Sean really does give for free in his videos. And this is the key point here, is how much free information can you give before you ask, all right? So this is the thing that I always say to all my mentor students is give, and then ask. And then when the ask comes around, you're going to have a lot more authority for the people to buy. If you make shit content, it's barely informative. You're scraping the borderline of actual good information and letting, I suppose, and gatekeeping the information. The viewer will seek that, and they will end up going to some people like Sean that portray a lot of free information that other people would charge for. All right. So he continues to talk here, and let's just kind of go through. But really quickly here, he's given a clear representation. He could have done pop-ups. Like, he could have done an Apple pop-up on the screen with a PNG photo. He could have just said there's 40 grams of sugar, but in the chocolate bar there's only 20 grams, etc., etc. But he went out of his way to buy the apple, buy the chocolate bar, weigh out the grams of sugar, put out the chopping board, and fucking make a visual representation, which is so important when you're doing any type of food, all right? And anything, actually, when you're talking about exercise in the gym, it's best for you to be doing the exercise as opposed to just be telling people how to do the exercise.
Make this a fair comparison, we will rack them into similar shapes. Perfect. Now, what is the purpose of this?
Yet again, a bit of personality.
Video, is this me telling you that the chocolate bar is a healthier choice than the apple because it contains less sugar? No, obviously fucking not. The purpose of this...
That's a bit of his humor. It's very very bland, very boring, and he portrays it very well. It's like, absolutely fucking not. Me, I would be a bit more high beat, but that's not his personality. He's staying true to himself, which is fair enough. But people love his kind of boring vibe, which is good. I like it too.
This video is to let you know that just because something has sugar in it doesn't mean it's automatically going to kill you. However,
this is also another really good thing that he done is frame zooms whenever he's about to say like a statement, like for an example, absolutely fucking not, or well, it won't. It's like he's using a zoom effect, because one thing here is a lot of people will just stay in the same angle and see the angle that he's been filming at now for the past I've been like fucking maybe 30-40 seconds or something like that. He has consistently not changed angles, right? But every time he says a statement, it like zooms in, zooms back out, and it's just allowing the viewer to have something sexy to watch as opposed to just a blank same angle all the time.
There is key differences between these foods. If you eat these 2 apples, you're probably not going to want another 2 apples. However, if you eat this one...
But I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but that's him actually providing a bit of humor there. Only some people will get it, but I suppose that's quite niche, Americans probably wouldn't have found that funny, but I know Irish people would have just found that funny because of the humor besides it. But like, this is his humor, right? And he's trying to portray it as much as possible. So he's just being sarcastic.
Chocolate bar, it's highly likely that you'll want more chocolate. So while in isolation, this food and other foods like it aren't necessarily harmful, if you eat them in large quantities, you'll be more likely to consume more calories, so therefore less likely to be less fat.
Another frame zoom. Bit of not sarcasm in that case, but bit of humor provided, and really, really good information towards the general population. Yet again, your content can be very, very niche specific and teach people about peptides, testosterone, and stuff like that. But in Sean's case, what's helped him build a multi-7-figure fitness business is from him being super simplistic and helping people with the general fat loss, which is where the money is. Just to be really clear here. The market is consistently growing for fat loss, so why the fuck would you diversify?
Here's the thing though, while the apple gives me nutrients, sometimes I don't want nutrients. Sometimes I just want chocolate. And while it isn't the most healthy choice, it does give me a lot of happiness.
Another frame zone.
As humans on this earth, if we live our whole life only picking foods because they have the most amount of nutrients and health benefits, it will get a bit shit crack.
See what I mean? Bit of humor. Shit crack is like a Irish way. I'm not sure if he would say English because I think it's North. But anyway, this is just another prime example of frame zoom sarcasm.
It's really not rocket science. I'm not quite sure why everyone is making it rocket science. Just do healthy people shit the majority of the time, and then sometimes enjoy a chocolate bar or a donut. But as long as it's not most of the time, you're not going to die and everything's going to be all right. And we can end this argument right here. Thank you for coming to this talk on sugar. In summary, it's not harmful. In fact, it's in a lot of nutrient-dense foods like this. However, just because the sugar doesn't make this food unhealthy, the fact that it's highly processed and easy to overeat on means that you need to be cautious about the amount that you're eating. But as long as you practice moderation and don't be silly with the full situation, everything will be okay. Here's how
I love this video. Now, the only thing that was missing here was a follow CTA. That's it. Roo! I'm not sure what Sean's take is on this, and he does have a social media course, so I'm unaware as to what he would think about this, but I would say having not a follow CTA in there at the end, which by the way, when I say CTA, it's a call to action. I just feel like it's a bit of a, not a wasted video. I'm sure it did gain him a lot of viewers, but oftentimes people won't do something unless they're told, or people won't remember that it's a good idea to do something unless they're told. So me personally, I've always ended every single video with some form of CTA, whether that may be comment below for a free guide or follow for more. Two of my most favorite ones. So yeah, but as you can see, when you go through the comments here, everybody is relating to the humor. There's a lot of laughing faces in here, and this is why I always say it's so important to have your own like kind of individual touch, because without this, you can just blend straight into the crowd. And now moving on to somebody that I feel like portrays their personality no better, Mr. Tony McLeavy. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. Yet again, if you haven't, you need to go and follow him and turn these post notifications on as well, because you know you're going to get a lot of content ideas off this guy. So number one, right, he could just make one rap. There was nothing fucking stopping him just making one rap, all right, but he didn't. He made 60, right? and why it was important to make 60 burritos in this video is because he's representing 60 burritos, and it just instantly hooks the viewer in, being like, why the fuck is there 60 burritos on the table? All right, now really quickly, he has his top off. He's obviously fucking jacked. If you are jacked, have your top off. All right, personally, I don't have my top off on my content because the gyms that I film in aren't very friendly about that, but also at the same time, I'm not as jacked as Tony. So that's just putting that out there. But really quickly, let's go into the hook here. Oh.
I only cook once a month when I'm trying to lose fat.
I cook 60 burritos and only cook once a month when I'm trying to lose fat. It's like, what? This guy only cooks once a fucking month? Are you serious? Right? So instantly this is breaking and it's breaking in front of all of the other meal prep videos, right? Because everybody's like, make this fucking overnight oats every single night and you're going to wake up and it's going to be an amazing breakfast. Like, that's not going to fucking work for this, right? See, Tony's cracked this here, and he said, right, okay, people don't want to fucking cook every night, overnight oats and stuff like that. Once a month, I'm in. All right, I want to hear what it is. Whatever it is, I'm in.
Let me show you how to make my pepper baked burritos under 450.
The only thing I would say here is it just doesn't look nice, right? So he could have made it a tiny bit look nicer, maybe some sauce in there, and then he could have maybe ripped the burrito in half and given it a visual representation. And I'm just going to come back to Sean here because nobody does it better when it comes to a nice, healthy wrap recipe than Sean.
There's absolutely no reason for you to still be eating chicken.
See, he has to make
rice and
all
broccoli
his
every single day.
recipes super saucy, super delicious looking. And you can see here, let's go down to a point where he did use the wrap, because he's used the wrap video probably one too many times right there. Even let's just use this.
There's absolutely no reason for you to still be eating chicken, rice and broccoli every single day just because you feel like you have to lose weight.
See? Always important to make it look super delicious. Rue! So here, please, God, Tony, put a bit of sauce in that motherfucker and break the wrap in half and make it look nice. Rue!
50 calories with over 40 grams of protein. You can wrap them up, you can freeze them, and reheat them, and boom, dinner is served.
So one thing that I would say is this wouldn't be my style of content. There's a lot of waffle in here, but this is where he puts in his humor so people aren't scared away from it, right? But if this was you saying this in a normal tone without no personality, being like, you can wrap them, you can freeze them, you can reheat them, and dinner is served, I'm fucking scrolling, you boring prick, right? But Tony, on the other hand, these like waffle moments is where he really puts in his personality, and this is what makes him different to everybody else, is because he's actually fucking funny. Like, I know everything about fitness, but I still sit here and watch his videos because they're just fucking hilarious.
Lube your tray, mince on salt, pepper.
Lube your tray. Yet again, personality here. That every single person I'm going to show you on this list that's on the successful board all uses humor, right? Or very confident tonality, right? So even just for Tony here, right, his whole thing is like your mom, like or your mom, he says, is like basically he makes it out that he fucks your mom, right? And he consistently makes this joke every single video, and people, I haven't looked through these comments, and I haven't watched the end of this video, but I'm sure there's going to be some sort of comments about your mom or something like this. Please don't embarrass me. Come on. Right. It's a viral video here, so everybody's actually asking questions about the burrito. But we'll go onto his page and I'll show you what he means. He has created this type of like not trend, but like quote between him and his viewers that is like your mom, right? And it's so fucking genius.
These bad boys will bag you a wife, and not the naggy type. You'll finally be able to stick to your dad and stop being a fat fuck. I post different variations.
See what I mean? Like, it's just a bit of humor being a fat fuck. Like, curse. He's Irish, right? And yet again, I'm not sure if he's actually Irish. Yeah, I think he is Irish. I'm not sure if he's up north, so if he would say British. But anyway, this is a big thing here, right? Is like these guys both implement humor, and it's like fun to watch.
These burritos on my page, so you can mix it up and not get bored. Beef cooked, pepper sauce on, onions on, just sprinkle some low-fat mozzarella. Throw that baby back in the oven for 5. Once that's cooked, just wrap these bad boys up, and then you can simply freeze these bad boys down. You can take them out and heat them as needed. And while you're at Flavor Town, drop me a follow. Ooh, baby.
Just there was no need for that baby at the end. I would have cut it a bit more earlier, but anyway, drop me a follow. But perfect, love it. Straight up my lane. Strong hook, good information, very good visual representation. CTA at the end in my good books, Mr. Tony. Very good stuff, man. Now, Ollie, one of my mentor students, right? Now, this has been consistently blowing up, and this is a common CTA, which is more directed through leads, or sorry, more directed through the comments into DMs to give a free lead magnet. So this is very important for your coaching business. If you do have one, to implement as maybe 3 of these a week is going to be very, very crucial. Just for you to start free conversations. Why fucking not, huh? So this is Ollie. Let's go through it. I swear if I make this mistake one fucking more time, I have to turn the volume up.
dumbbell bicep curls and cable bicep curls.
He actually copied this video off me, but it's still done very well. Stop doing dumbbell bicep curls and cable bicep curls.
As you will always have skinny arms. If you want to double the size of your
So he has his t-shirt off. He's showing representation of his biceps. He's in shape, right? So he stopped doing dumbbells and stopped doing cable bicep curls, which is relating so much to the video I'm about to show you to. Because, of course, Ollie did take the video idea. When it comes to him representing it well, so many people have taken that same video and recreated it from me, but none of them went viral. The reason Ollie went viral is because the tonality in which he's saying it is like, stop doing dumbbell bicep curls and cable bicep curls. Unless you want skinny arms forever. He's confident and he's showing visual representation. I can't stress it enough, guys. I keep saying the fucking word, visual representation. If you don't have it, well, why?
biceps, you need to stop training them in only the mid-range. The bicep has two heads, the long head and short head. You need to train them in the lengthened and shortened position, or you'll never fill out your t-shirts. If I could only do two bicep
Now for this, you'll never fill out your t-shirts. He should have just put the t-shirt on, right? So it was just a bit of lazy visual representation, but I'll let him away with it because it went viral.
exercises to target both heads, preacher curls for the short head, making sure I'm closing the gap at the top, and incline dumbbell curls for the long head, making sure my elbows start behind my body. And if you want my arm workout I use to take them from this to this, comment arms below and I'll send it over for free, and drop me a follow for daily free.
He shouldn't have said drop me a follow. He should have just said left of that comment arms, because sometimes when you give them two different options or two different tasks, it's too much for them to process. I know, sounds retarded, right? And you're probably thinking, why the fuck can't they do two things? I think the same thing, but listen, this is how it is, right? So in this case, I would have left it at comment arms. If that's the true goal from the video, is to get as much arms comments as possible. Should have only said one. But anyway, we'll let him away with it because it did go viral. From comments perspective, by the way. So obviously when you look at the likes, you're like, oh, that didn't go viral, but when you look at the comments, it did. It got like 10,000 comments or something like that. Now the next person is, oh, who the fuck is this handsome motherfucker? All right, it's me. So let me bring you through why this done well. And it's the exact same videos that Ollie done, all right, but I'm going to show you how I done it better.
Stop doing dumbbell bicep curls and cable bicep curls if you want to grow your biceps.
Right, so visual representation, double bicep pose, stop doing dumbbells and stop doing cables.
And instead, listen to me.
And instead, listen to me. So another visual representation and a bit of cockiness that got the viewers kind of rolled up. So no need to say stop, just add in, mix it up or something would be better advice. You know, it's just pissing people off, right?
The reason your biceps haven't been growing is because you keep training them in the exact same range. And you're forgetting this key thing. See, the bicep has two heads. This is four. You need to train it in the
Bit of humor.
lengthened position and in the shortened position. And if you haven't been doing this, this is the reason why you look big like this, but like a fucking cheese string like this.
Bit of humor.
Preacher curls is the best.
So you can see here, I have already gotten to the point of the video much faster than Ollie, right? So my video is shorter in the sense of the information, in the sense of the amount of seconds the video is on for, but I also provide more information.
Exercise for the shortened position, but you need to make sure you close that gap. And then for the lengthened position, D-handle on the cable, spin your body away. One step out, elbow
So I also give tips on how to complete the exercise.
behind. And then close that gap just like you did on the preacher curls. And if you want to progress the rest of your body, you need to drop me a follow.
If you want to progress the rest of the body, you need to drop me a follow. And this went like 2.8 million views, 25,000 likes as comparison to 1,700 likes. Now, you're probably thinking, but okay, Ollie got more comments. But I'm going to show you how, right? So, or why my video done better. So, when you come on to this here, fuck, I'm not logged in on this browser. But anyway, I have it on my ads tracker, actually. Let me show you. So you can see here that I'm currently boosting it towards my ideal client avatar, which is, I won't even kind of go into that, but I don't want to get too mixed up in ads. But anyway, point being here is we can see that we're boosting it at the moment. And it's at the moment, the current spend, it's gaining me roughly around 250 to 200 followers a day. Obviously, before the ad spend was as high as around 100, 130. But this is all qualified followers coming straight to my inbox, all right? So this is a perfect boosting example because I didn't say nothing else but comment or but follow. But now I done a comment CTA, right? And this done 53,000 likes, but not only that, it got 27,000 comments, all right? 27,000 leads, motherfuckers, listen up, all right? Now watch this. Now I have done this from the get-go. I'm pretty sure I'm the motherfucker that created it. It was like the Yo Troy, and it's like back and forth. It's like two people talking.
How do I get rid of my bitch tits? Do this. Chest press to build the middle of the chest. This is to get rid of the sagginess. High to low cable chest flies to develop your pec line. And then you do low to high chest flies, which is going to help you look more muscular in t-shirts. And that's it. No.
So the other person is like acting as if he's the dumbass, right? Or he's acting like the guy's like, how do I get rid of my bitch tits, right? So I had to get rid of my saggy chest, and he gives quick, actionable advice. He doesn't say, well, actually, the chest is built up of 3 different muscle heads, and it's like, shut the fuck up, right? It's straight to the point. It's like, do this, do this, do this, right? And people are like consuming this information, saving the video because they're scared of losing this. They're like, oh yeah, shit, go.
You also need to stop eating so much fucking calories. Okay, well, what calories should I eat? Comment calories below, and I'll just send you over your custom calories. Done. Yo, Troy, how do I
Look how simple that video was.
get rid of my bitch tits? Do this. Chest press to build the middle of the...
So they should just give him a chest workout and done a comment CTA. That's it. Very, very short video. No need for anything else, right? Now, I've shown you multiple viral videos. Now let me show you videos that didn't do so well. And I'm not hating on nobody. These guys are in my mentorship, so don't worry about this. And I have permission to do so because, of course, I'm their content managers. But anyway, this video.
Glue kickbacks.
Stop doing these glue kickbacks. Who does those glue kickbacks? Number one, right? So what he thought in his head was when I gave him the information of trying to do like a active hook or try to do something a bit more engaging, he tried to just do something retarded, right? And in this scenario, to be honest with you, this was just, it didn't relate to nobody. Stop doing these stupid glue kickbacks. And he kind of like kicked his leg back. No one does them. He also has a band wrapped around his knee as well. So it's like, people don't be like, oh, I don't do that anyway, and just scroll past, right? But if he was actually on the ground, right, sit on a machine or sitting back with an actual cable, or sorry, with a resistance band around his knee and actually kicked back in the same way that all of the females actually do it and said, stop doing your glue kickbacks like this, the females would have went, whoa, hold on. Like what? Because I'm doing that. Why can't I do that? Does that make sense here? So in this scenario, the reason why this didn't do as well was because he wasn't giving the direct visual representation of what these guys are doing, even though they said stop doing, right? Also, another one, his page is primarily male-based. So that's the content that has worked prior in the past. So doing a glue kickback is the equivalent of doing a menstrual cycle video, right? Because no men do glue kickbacks.
And these fucking donkey kicks, I can't
And these donkey kicks. But that's how the video should have started. Stop doing these. Because that's what people actually do.
believe I'm doing this. Otherwise, it'll be Pancake Tuesday every single day. If you actually want to grow your glutes.
So a bit of humour, not bad.
Kickbacks, they're great exercises, but they are only effective if you're mixing them with heavy compound lifts. I would recommend doing some hip thrusts, as well as some Romanian deadlifts. And don't forget the heavy squats. Doing heavy compound movements will not make you look shit. And you can comment bikini.
Make you look shit. This is where you went wrong. Because girls don't think they look shit. They think they look muscular. They think they look bulky. You need to give representation of how they feel. What is the cost of doing this exercise? It's like, no, you won't look muscular. And that's a good hook for a video, by the way, guys. If any of you guys are watching or have a niche female specific, it's doing this exercise won't make you look muscular, but what it will do is XYZ, you know. So that's why that didn't do well, and I got no comments other from Chanzo taking the piss out of him. Now, this video done well views wise, but I'm going to tell you why I wasn't benefiting his business.
Stopping you from being bricked 24/7. No wonder your girlfriend left it. Firstly, watching corn. Don't make this amateur mistake. It's not a good one. Secondly, lacking sleep. You need your full 8 hours.
Will you just go to bed?
Also eating foods that are not whole foods, you're also messing up your digestion. And also you're not taking supplements that benefit you, such as Tongat Ali, vitamin D, zinc, citrulline and black maca. And now just make sure that you follow me some more.
Yeah, like it's fucking, he's hilarious, don't get me wrong, he's fucking hilarious, but I'm going to tell you the type of people that he did attract, right? We can actually look through a couple of these people, that would be fun. Oh no, I probably can't, because I don't want people seeing their usernames and stuff, yeah, anyway. all of these people here, I can guarantee you, are not his ICA, right? And what I mean by that, ICA is ideal client avatar. Not a fucking hope. The type of humor he was giving off at the start was very childish. Not childish, but it was very like, you would only attract a kid with that type of stuff. Let's be real. All right. So in that scenario, this is why I'm very, very confident that he did not attract any type of high earner males or any type of 30 to 40-year-old men that are struggling with this issue, because he portrayed it in a very childish way. And their humor, you have to remember, their personality would be like, I'm not listening to this young little fucking messer. Do you know what I mean? Because they're older than you, and they're clearly older than you when they see your face and stuff like that as well. It's going to take a certain level of really good professionalism to build trust with these guys. So if you want them to be your ICA, you know, you need to be relating to them and something that doesn't piss them off. So when you're taking the piss out of their boners and like saying like, this is why your girlfriend let you and stuff like that, like in this scenario, that actually might be a big pain point for them. And I'm being real, like for 30, 40-year-old men, the ICA, like that actually might be a pain point, is the fact that their partners had left them, you know, or it could be anything along the lines of that. So they're a whole lot more sensitive to the fact of if their partner left them than a 20-year-old would be, right? So this is why the video was funny to him, but not to the ideal client. This is Chinonzo.
Diet doesn't suck, your weekends do.
The only thing that sucks is your hook, my man. Chinonzo, right? So your diet doesn't suck, the weekends do. Your diet fucking sucks because of this one issue. Much better hook. The reason you're still fat is because your diet looks like this, right? There's just different ways to present the hook. And it's all about tonality. Also, as well, just in terms of the screen here, right? You can see his screen, right? You go back to my screen. I'm in the middle, okay? I'm very well represented. My face is straight in the middle of the screen, which I made sure of. Imagine I was like this. So guys, today we're going to be doing content reviews, and yeah, you can see my point. So you need to make sure that the tripod is always, or whoever was filming, is always making sure that you're getting this, like, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the visual representation of the 6 squares and where your head should be, shoulders should be. So hypothetically, in an Instagram reel, let's just say here, your head should be up the top, right, around here. Chest should be around the middle. And then, of course, torso and shoulders should be around the middle square. And then the captions are always coming across eye level, which would be at the chest line. So that's normally what the viral kind of meta is when it comes to editing videos or the video layout. But that's just to give you a bit of an example here. No one does 3,000 calories before noon. I know it's humor, but you also need to be realistic at the same time as well. And also as well, just to let you know, the copy of this, or the captions or whatever you want to call it, diet's fine. This needs to be like, your diet's shit, or this is the reason you're fat, in the comments. It could just to kind of draw people in. There was a stutter at the end as well. DM me weekend and I'll teach you how to be shredded. You know, just shows less confidence. Okay. There wasn't a load of urgency to be honest, DMing you the word weekend. Also, don't say DM, always say comment, just so we get extra engagement on the comments. There's a very good point to that. So yeah, that's what I would say. The video just wasn't, it didn't have an urgent kind of vibe to watch it. It's like, your diet's fine, your weekends, it's like, your diet's fucking shit, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, get straight into it. Give them that bold hook that they want. I just realized I wasn't even sharing my screen, was I, for that one?
Your diet doesn't suck, your weekends do. You're on point Monday to Friday, then Saturday comes along and it all goes to shit. Drinks, takeout, 3,000 calories before noon. You're not stuck, you're just stuck in a cycle. If you can fix your weekends, you can fix your progress. DM me the word weekend and I'll teach you how to be social and stay shredded.
So, number one, there was a stutter in the CTA. DM me the word weekend and I'll teach you how to be shredded. It's like, do you know what you're talking about? It kind of gives off that vibe, right? So you need to always make sure that you're confident, your tonality is on points. DM me the fucking word weekend. No, don't curse, sorry. DM me the word weekend and I'll help you with a full structured plan on how to get around this. You know, it needs to be like, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? That's exactly the vibe it needs to give off. Not this guy some dude has a gun behind the camera pointing straight at his fucking eye, telling him to say the CTA or else he dies, you know? Also, the information in the video isn't necessarily beneficial. It's more so telling. It's like, this is why, you know, you're inhaling 3,000 calories before noon, which is not realistic. Nobody really, you know, gets down 3,000 calories by noon. But what does happen is how you give extra relatability. What does happen is social events come up. You know, some alcohol may be consumed, and you should be given actionable help around how to consume alcohol on the weekend, but without going up and wait the next day. You know, these are all very, very important things, as it needs to have relatability. All right. Which marks it to the end of the video here. If you do want me to review any of your videos, I can do this maybe once a week. Comment down below and just give me your IG username and I can definitely help you out. If you want to give me direct video links, of course, you can message me at TroyJBusiness on Instagram. But other from that, guys, we've learned a couple of things today, right? We've taken some viral inspiration. We've also got some inspiration from videos that did not do so well to avoid. So we have strong hook, bold, bold kind of hook. You know, you need to kind of like not almost insult people, but call somebody out. It's like, this is the reason you've got saggy man boobs. This is the reason you've got a muffin top. Your diet is shit. Stop doing tricep push downs. If you're doing tricep push downs like this, you're gonna stay fat forever. You know, these type of things are what hooks people in. The story or the body of the video, or whatever you ever want to call it, it needs to be informative. It cannot just be basic information. It needs to have humor in it if you have any. If not, don't be afraid to show your boringness. And then the ending always ends in a CTA. All right, guys. So if you did find this beneficial, make sure that you subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.